Here at the Vermont Institute of Natural Science, we're a 4-season outdoor education facility. We're open to the public every day of the year besides Thanksgiving and Christmas, and even on those days we have staff members and volunteers hard at work here in Quechee. That's because our Center for Wild Bird Rehabilitation is always open to take care of the hundreds of birds under our care. All the birds you see on display get top-notch nutrition and regular checkups to make sure they're living their best lives here at VINS. On top of that, we're brought new birds from all around New England almost every day year-round.
75% of the birds that are brought to rehab in Vermont come to VINS. And so we are one of the only rehab opportunities around, and we're by far the biggest. We tend to have over 100 species of birds who are brought to VINS every year that we're taking care of. I think there are moments in life where we are wide open to education. And one of those moments is when someone brings us a bird. And when they drive their car up and a family gets out of the car, an individual gets out of the car with a box with a wild bird in it that they found injured or orphaned, and they present that to us to care for.
Oh yeah, Camille found it. You tell the story.
I saw it fall out of the nest, but it looked like a pine cone. And I was on my bike, and I saw it fall, and I was like, that just doesn't look like a pine cone.
It's a moment that really matters to that individual or to that family. And they take that moment to heart. They'll always remember it. They'll learn a lot from that encounter. So we take that admission really seriously as part of our educational mission, as we're also collecting data about the bird itself so we can get it as quickly into good care as possible.
Around 1,200 birds a year are brought to VINS for care. They come from all over, for all different sorts of reasons. Each injury has its own challenges. No two bird species' diet or care is the same, and since over 100 different species can arrive in a calendar year, that's a lot of individualized care. A lot of songbirds, for example, have big personalities, picky diets, and incredibly small little legs and wings that are very difficult to splint. Waterfowl require specialized enclosures and can be large like loons, which, believe it or not, injure each other in fights. Raptors, that is birds like the owls, falcons, hawks, and vultures you see in our raptor exhibit here in Quechee, have a whole host of other issues. Many have serious eye, head, or neck injuries which require extensive rehab. In addition, wing injuries are time sensitive for our migrating birds. We have to get them healed up and ready to fly in our flight cages by the fall, or else they'll be stuck with us over the winter. Osprey, for example, are very finicky eaters with their fish-only diet, and they don't always appreciate being fed the hard way. One group of guests we get here at VINS that are not picky eaters are the young birds fresh out of the nest, and we get a lot of them.
So every spring and summer, we have to ramp up for baby bird season. This is the time of year where birds are being born all over New England, all around us, and a lot of them end up here. Every single species of baby bird has to be fed and cared for differently, and every one of those baby birds has to be fed every 30 minutes all day long. And that's part of the reason we have so many fantastic volunteers that we absolutely rely on to do all those feedings.
Hundreds of birds fed every half hour, 24 hours a day. That makes for a constant flow of volunteers at the rehabilitation all summer, not to mention turning it into one of the biggest bird buffets you'll find anywhere. A whole host of ingredients have to be bought, stored, weighed, plated, and hand-fed to these very demanding diners until they're big and strong enough to be on their way.
It is impressive the number of people and the amount of expertise required to staff the Center for Wild Bird Rehabilitation or any rehabilitation clinic. We have 7 full-time staff in the summer, 4 in the winter. We have 150 plus volunteers. Some of those are driving birds to us occasionally, and some of them are here every day feeding baby birds. About 40% of our birds are able to be released into the wild successfully. And then there are some birds who recover, but not quite well enough to be able to be released into the wild. They might have an eye injury, they might have a wing that's healed improperly, and those birds might also take residence either as an ambassador species who live here for the rest of their lives, or maybe even at a different rehab center around the country. There's a lot of care that goes into these larger birds of prey in order to get them well and get them back into the wild safely. Those birds of prey, many of them, the American kestrel for example, have seen precipitous declines in their population, and so every individual that we can get out really matters. If you've brought us a bird, thank you. If you have visited Vins and provided some funds for us to do this important work, thank you. We really couldn't do this work without you. People who come to Vins, our volunteers who commit their time and expertise to us, we're so grateful for all the support. I think it's likely that the learning that happens and the care of the world that is internalized from having brought us a bird is as important as the saving of that bird's life in and of itself, because it tends to inspire people to care about and actively care for a world that has a thriving population of birds.